Arcade1Up release day is finally here, and I have all 4 of the cabinets released. These are the non-exclusive cabinets. So these came in to my local GameStop today. I had them pre-ordered, and they gave me a call, said they came in, and I stopped on my way home from work, picked them up, and in this video I'm going to be assembling one of these. We're probably going to go ahead and do the Street Fighter one, and then the other ones I'll assemble most likely off camera. Get them all set up in the game room. We'll eventually do a game room tour. But first I kind of want to talk about the experience. So if you guys have been following Arcade1Up, you know this is their initial line of at-home arcade cabinets. They're 3/4 scale, similar to the Extension Alpha. And they had a lot of hype. They pretty much debuted at E3 2018, showed off the product, started taking pre-orders, I think in July. They filled up pre-orders pretty quick. They were selling out at a lot of places, and they released an announcement saying they're going to push back the release date to October 16th instead of the original release date of September 25th. But what they did is they said the reason they're doing it is they want to make sure there's enough supply to meet the demand on launch day. If you guys remember a couple years ago with the NES Classic, there wasn't enough supply to meet the demand. Skyrocketed prices for scalpers. They're trying to avoid that. But what they did say is anybody that had a pre-order, wherever they had the pre-order at, it was up to that retailer if they wanted to release it early or not, because they would have some stock by that time to honor the original street date. GameStop has decided to honor that original street date, which is awesome. I know Best Buy has been sending out delay notices or even cancellations, but GameStop honored it. They gave me a call today. When I went to the store, I asked them if they got any more in. They said my pre-order was the only order that they got, and that it had just arrived today, around noon Eastern today. It arrived at the store. So they didn't have it any earlier, but it did arrive. They called me as soon as it arrived, and like I said, I stopped on my way home from work, picked it up. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out the Street Fighter arcade cabinet. And the boxes are double-sided. So this side's a vertical side, and the other side is horizontal. They are a little heavy, which is to be expected. It is an arcade cabinet. It is 3/4 inch scale. And so we'll just take a look at the box real quick. You can see it is a team lift. I think these are around 60 pounds a piece. This does not include the riser. The riser is going to be released on October 16th. We'll go ahead and cut the tape. It looks like they have like a metallic seal on them. And these are all licensed products. And like I said, I got the original lineup for what was announced. There are a couple exclusives that I also have pre-ordered. There's a deluxe cabinet, which is, I believe, a Best Buy and Fry's exclusive. And there's also a Galaga machine, which is a Walmart exclusive. That one I have pre-ordered. I have not heard from them around the ship date or anything. So we'll go ahead and open this up. And we've got a bunch of boxes in here. So we're gonna go ahead and go through and see what we have. Starting off with this box, probably the control pad. But we'll go ahead and get all the boxes out and then start opening them up. And what I'm really hoping is that the decals are pre-applied. The Extension Alpha cabinet over here, the decals were not pre-applied on that, which is unfortunate because, you know, you can mess up applying those decals yourself. I really like the pre-applied decals, and it looks like these have the pre-applied decals. So we'll go ahead and open this up first. This looks like it's the 2 side panels. That's it, that's in the box, so we'll go ahead and slide that to the side. And we'll go ahead and cut the strap. And we'll take this off. The instruction manual is actually in with the uprights. Go ahead and set that to the side for now. And we do have our side panels. The decals are pre-applied, which is awesome. And the back panel is also in there. So we'll go ahead and set the back panel to the side. And we're going to go ahead and leave these wrapped in plastic for now. We'll be taking a look at the instruction manual, see when we need those. Just go ahead and set this to the side, very cool. And we'll open up, this is the next biggest box here. And these will be about 4 feet in height. So they will be the perfect height to go with the Alpha, I'm hoping. You just use a stool to sit down at it, or you can buy the risers when they come out. And that will make it full height, or close to full height. I think it's a little bit over a foot riser. And these are packaged in styrofoam, which is nice to see. This is the monitor. It looks like. Looks like a couple pieces here. So the first piece we have is, it looks like probably the front base, because it's got the Street Fighter logo. It basically has all the games on it, which is Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, a lot of people's favorites. Street Fighter 2 New Challengers, and also Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which one of my favorite games growing up. Had it on the Super Nintendo. Here's a back panel. And here is the arcade screen. So they basically tell you if it doesn't work, don't return it, just call customer support, because most likely it's probably hooked up wrong. And very interesting that they opted for it looks like an IDE ribbon cable for the monitor. So that's very neat, very unique. And it is a standard monitor size. It's not widescreen. So it looks like it's a 4x3, which I really like that when I was looking at these cabinets. You know, most of these games, actually all these games that I have here, were not intended to be played with a 16:9 widescreen. Next up, so far this looks like it's going to be an easy assembly. A lot of the bigger pieces are already together. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is our hardware package. So we've got our power cord, we've got some wooden dowels, some Phillips head screws, some pretty basic items in here. Oh, we've got the knobs for the top of the joysticks. And then we also have, this looks like, oh, okay, some additional pieces. So these would be all of the other supporting pieces to assemble it. Some of the cross braces, most likely the top marquee is probably in here as well. And our final box, I would expect this to be the control panel already assembled. And that is what we have. So if we take a look at this, there is some beat up styrofoam in here, so I'm just going to set that to the side. Alright, and here's the control panel. So pretty neat. It is all together. It is pretty light. The buttons feel really good at first touch. We've got our joysticks, feel pretty good. And then looking straight through here, we can see a speaker. It actually projects straight through these holes here. And then we've got a volume knob here. We've got our on-off switch here. We've got our ribbon cable that plugs into here. And it looks like the power cord probably plugs into the monitor, because I'm not seeing a plug here. So it probably passes power through the ribbon cable. Actually, depending, I'm not sure what type of hardware they're running, whether it's in the monitor or in the control panel. That'd be interesting to see. But that is our control panel. I'm really excited. All the decals are already applied, especially on the control panel. It's such a huge deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual and start getting this thing assembled. So this is what the instruction manual looks like when you get it. Looks like there's a owner's manual in here, and let's see what else. So we've got an owner's manual, we've got our warranty card, and we also have assembly instructions. So we're going to go ahead and set the owner's manual and warranty information to the side, and we're going to take a look at the assembly instructions. So right off the bat, tools that you will need, not included, are a Phillips head screwdriver. It looks like everything else is included. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and assemble this thing real quick. Alright, and with that, we get a nice professional finished look on the back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and move these boxes out of the way so that we can put the arcade cabinet right next to our Alpha Arcade, boot it up, and let's... Alright, so our arcade cabinet's fully assembled. We got it back against the wall. It's plugged in. We're ready to boot it up for the very first time. So we just go ahead and flip the on switch. And there we are. We've got the Arcade1Up splash screen. We can see it's licensed by Capcom. It's got all 3 games listed here. Screen is amazing. It's really bright. And we just scroll down to select our 3 games. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and sit down at our stool, which is perfect height. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a game. I'm going to go ahead and start with Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Alright, so it tells us our controls. We'll go ahead and hit player 1 to continue. And there we go. So we can hear the music. And we've got a volume switch here. So it's on high. That's off, which is really cool. That's low, which is awesome. And that's high. So you can see it's on free play. We'll go ahead and put the volume on low for now. So we'll go ahead and do a player 2 here. So here you can see that the controls are really smooth. Really happy with it. It's definitely awesome. The screen is so bright. I love it. Definitely cool. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and try to get to another game. So you hold player 1 for 5 seconds. And that should take us back to the main menu. And it does. And then we can select another game if we want to play another game. If you ever forget what that key combination is, at the start of every game, it tells you down at the bottom. If you hold player 1 for 5 seconds to take you to the menu, hold player 2 for 5 seconds, it will reset that game that you're already in.
Round 1, fight!
And then to turn it off, we just hit the off and the system's off. Which is really cool. If we want to turn it back on, we just slide the on and wait a couple seconds and then it'll be booted up. And there we are. Very simple. You don't have to worry about long boot up times. This is a really nice setup. Definitely recommend it. Obviously I have to play it some more, but they do look like they're SUSE-HAP compatible controls, where if you wanted some better controls, you could definitely do that. But overall for me, I really like these controls. I would have liked the joysticks to be a little bit taller, but to keep everything compact, I kind of understand why they didn't go with a taller joystick. But overall, really happy. But drop me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the Arcade1Up cabinet. Let me know if you're planning on getting one. Like I said, the public street date is October 16th now. They did change it. I was fortunate enough to get the pre-order early on, and so I have the cabinet in my home. It's great. I still have 3 more to assemble, so definitely looking forward to getting them all set up. And my next game room tour, you guys will be able to see all the cabinets set up, and as well as my Sega STV cabinet just sitting right next to me, fully operational. So thank you for watching.